Three, two, one. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Nine Hope Podcast. This is your host, Ian Miller. Today, I am joined by ex-Major League outfielder Zack Granite. Appreciate everybody being here. We are live on Instagram. We are live on No Filter. Zack, what's going on, brother? How you doing?
What's going on? Living the dream, baby. Living the dream.
Amen, dude. Amen. We're in the heart of baseball season, dude. There's so much going on. The draft just happened. We were both 14-round grinders, right? 14th round in 2013.
Yeah.
Um, Obviously, with the way today's game is, the way that people are valued and kind of evaluated on their talents and stuff, I'm not 100% sure if I get taken in the draft this past year, right? Obviously, there is an emphasis on being able to hit the ball out of the ballpark, having pop, being able to do more than just put the ball on the ground and run like a 6'2", 60, right? We've been seeing a lot of stuff kind of surrounding repeating. Thank
Yeah.
you.
That's my guy, Paul Basile.
Okay. So I need to turn that. Thank you, Paul. Appreciate the heads up, dude.
Dude, 10 years old. Kid's a stud.
I love that, bro. Thank you for the heads up, Paul. Let me see if I don't know if I can fix that. All good. Hey, Paul, let me know if that gets any better. I hope it does. I hope we'll see.
Thank you so
So
much.
obviously, all right. Let's see there. You can't hear me on Instagram Live now, right? Can you,
He
Paul? What
said,
do you got? Can you hear me? Am I still echoing? Am I reverbing? Let me know in the comments, dude. I'll try to make adjustments wherever we see fit. Um, Obviously, dude, like OPS is big.
yeah,
Oh, it's better, Paul, or it's my mic is still messing up. It sounds better, Rocco Bats. Appreciate that, bro. That's
another one
huge.
of my guys, Bianco.
Let's go. Let's go. We're good now. Okay. So obviously we were dudes that could put the ball on the ground and run, get on first base. You can't steal first base. We'd be able to steal second pretty easily. We've talked about bunting. We've talked about stealing bases. We talked about the art of small ball, dude. We made a living off of that.
Yeah.
OPS, dude. So people are getting drafted on their ability to hit the ball out of the ballpark, even if they hit 250 with 20. That is more appealing and sometimes even sexier than having back to ball skills and kind of having multiple tools in the toolbox, dude. What do you got on like the OPS stat, the OPS metric being valued so high, and what is that like? What kind of value does that place on today's draft?
Well, first of all, I want to say that OPS is important. I'm not saying it's not important. I'm not saying that at all. But I still think batting average is the most important stat. You need to be able to have good bat to ball skills. And not only that, I believe that there needs to be more of a balance, meaning like I think your 1, 2, 8, 7, 8, 9 hitters should be able to not strike out
Yeah,
and have your 3, 4, 5, 6 be able to drive the baseball. Now, for me, that's what balance is, right? Like, like I always compare it to like football because I love football. Like, if you can't run the ball, you're not a good football team, right? You need to mix it up, right? You need to have a little bit of you need guys to get on base to drive you in, right? So like a 2 out triple and the next guy strikes out, that means nothing. So it's like you need guys on base for OPS to matter to me.
I love that.
Like, so there needs to be guys that get on base for your big guys. And just because you hit for average, right, doesn't mean you can't drive the baseball. But for me, I sacrificed strength and homers for putting the ball in play, and that's what got me to the big leagues. I'll never regret that. Um, I think that obviously the game did change while we were playing.
Yeah,
They went from, like they loved guys like us. Like, that's the old school way of baseball was the way we played baseball.
for sure,
And
bro.
maybe if me and you played 15 years ago, we're 10-year big leaguers.
Yeah,
But
different story.
the game kind of changed. I think the like it really changed like when I was in the big leagues. You started seeing like guys, okay, now it's all about power, 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 power. And I mean, of course, you see the guys that are up there too. They're monsters. There are a lot of monsters in the big leagues, man. So
Absolutely.
it's about, you know, like I said, OPS matters, but you need guys on base. You need to play team baseball, right? Everybody right now, I feel like, is playing individual baseball.
Yes, bro.
You need to play team baseball to be good. And you're going to see it once we get to the postseason. It happens every year. And just like in football, the good teams, like I'm a Miami Dolphins fan. Miami Dolphins offense, oh, so everybody was so excited. They couldn't stop a nosebleed on defense. They're out in the first round. Like it always comes back to the small ball of baseball: pitching, defense, and timely hitting.
For sure. I love
Pitching,
that.
defense, and timely hitting is what wins games in the playoffs. So
Yeah,
you
dude.
might be able to make the playoffs, but are you able to win the World Series? To me, that's all that matters.
Amen. We got so the blind beard, Zach, you're awesome in the chat. Appreciate you guys tuning in, stopping by. We got Brick Wall Baseball here on No Filter. Brick Wall, you're a staple here on all the live shows for No Filter, brother. Appreciate you being here, man. That's a good baseball mind out in Jersey. Fantastic being here. I love it, dude. I have been doing some more talks and stuff, spending some more time with individual players at all levels, right from middle school, high school, college, Division 1, Division 2, Division 3, and we really put an emphasis on playing your game, knowing your role, right? So like, let's the draft is cut in half from when we were getting drafted, right? So there's 40
Yeah.
rounds now. There's only 20. Um, Different things are being evaluated. I'm just trying to think about like if we were coming up in today's game with the type of player that we were, right? We had a specific skill set and an individual tool set that really like helped us maximize and separate. Um, Dude, like I said, I'm not 100% sure if I get drafted in today's game. It's crazy to think about it. If we don't play our game and we start trying to feed into this, right?
Yeah.
I just talked to, I'm going to have a national cross checker on the show tomorrow for the Oakland A's who scouted me, who also scouted you when we were in college, our junior year. And he was like, dude, the report that I have on you matches up completely with the Nine Hole podcast. Dude, I had 3 extra base hits my junior year when I got drafted, right? And I'm in the NEC conference and I'm like the best player in the conference. I played
Yeah.
50 games my junior year. I had 3 extra base hits, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know if I get drafted in today's game just running a 6'2" and being able to chase stuff down in the outfield.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I think you know what, and it's good and bad. I think the biggest problem is social media. You're seeing guys hit home runs. That's it.
Yes.
I saw, like I just saw somebody. I know, like Todd Frazier. Everybody knows who Todd Frazier is. He posted his son placing down a base hit bunt.
Oh, it's
Like, let's go! I love this. Like, what people don't realize is Instagram is everybody's highlight reel, right? So it's like you're seeing the best play of the game, no matter what the game, because everything's on Game Changer now. For those of you who don't know what Game Changer is, it records the game for you, pretty much. So everybody gets their highlight. So if there's 1 or 2 or 3 good swings in the game, that's posted on social media,
yeah,
not the other 18 outs that are being made. Even the nice play up the middle doesn't get posted. It's all about what are you doing with the bat. And
100%.
for guys like us, it was for me. I did everything almost perfect without the bat in my hand.
Yeah,
Like
had
I was
to.
an unbelievable defender. I had a real ridiculous eye. I didn't
Yeah, you
swing
did.
at balls, right? Like I was a grind. Like I have more walks than strikeouts in the major leagues. Like that's crazy, right? Like people don't even know that. I mean, I didn't have a ton of at bats, but like
That's a
that.
lost art nowadays, bro.
Yes.
You don't
Yeah,
see
I
it
mean,
anymore.
you don't see it because strikeouts. I was actually before I came on, I was looking up how many like just the strikeout totals and stuff for guys. There's a lot of guys with 100 strikeouts, but in their defense, they're being told, "Who cares?"
Yeah. You
They're
go
being,
1 for 4 with 3 strikeouts, but a home run. Like,
that's great, fantastic. So they're they're allowing you to do that, and they want you to try to hit extra base hits. There's guys that are getting 600 at bats a year, and they're every single at bat. There's no adjustment in approach. Where for me, always had an adjustment in approach depending on who was on base. Us being a lefty, I don't want to hit the ball the other way with a runner on second base, nobody out. Now I'm trying to pull the ball, right? Like to me, those were like the little things that I did very well,
absolutely.
and that's why I brought value to my game.
Yep.
And I teach a lot of kids at the 60-90 level now that just made the jump from 12U now at 13U. I train a lot of athletes at that age, And from the 12U season where they're playing on 200-foot fences with juice bats, dude, of course you got to hit the ball in the air.
Yeah.
But now at 13U, you hit the ball in the air, you got to hit it 330 feet for it to be a hit.
Yes.
So you're not doing
100%.
that. So
100%.
it's an adjustment that some kids have to make, and it's heartbreaking because you see these kids that have so much success at a younger age, and then it's like, all right, now it's not the case anymore.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, we got some more comments in the chat. So yeah, the blind beard. I am Walter. Zach and I went to college together, and I was the equipment
Yes,
manager of the team.
yes.
We got some SHU all day pride in the chat. Appreciate you boys being here. Jay Allen, 14. Did you guys see Soto's absolute beaut of a bunt the other night? It brought a tear to my eye.
Uh,
I didn't see it. I didn't see it, but what I
I
did
see
see,
it.
you
Is that
didn't?
home
Okay,
run last night? You see
I
that?
didn't see it, bro. I did see they were talking about. I guess he hit a home run the other night. It went deep, dude. Went real deep, and he took his time around the bases. And they said like he was trying to protect the hammies.
That was
I
funny.
don't know. Um,
Well, it was because Siri on the
Siri.
Rays did that to the Yankees. So
Okay, I didn't see what the instance was that kind of instigated it, but I heard that Siri had something to do with it. Obviously, like I've played against Jose Siri in the minor leagues before. Like he's a loud player. Um, Obviously, he's talented, but I saw a 3-0 like Soto was fighting off a bumblebee in the box and then stepped out. I think he did like he hit grounded into a double play 3-0
right.
count.
Mhm.
Obviously, like we see the stuff that Soto does, which is loud. Guy's incredible, has an unbelievable eye. Like that blend of power and the blend of strike zone awareness is incredible, man. Um,
And like I said, not to interrupt you, but and I love power. Power's fantastic. But for me, I'm not willing to give up a 300 hitter for power. Like your Judge and your Stanton, I mean your Judge and your Soto, they're both hitting 300.
yeah,
With home runs, with extra base hits. I mean, they're the reason why they're making 300 million, and Soto's going to break that record like crazy.
yeah,
But
bro,
your top three in OPS are Judge, Otani, and Soto. So OPS does matter. I'm
yeah,
not saying it doesn't matter. I'm just saying I want more guys doing more things than just hitting for power, which
absolutely.
I think is majority of the league. You
Hmm.
have your freaks, you have your Mookie Betts, your Judge, your Otanis. All those guys are five-star players.
Yeah,
But how about the 3-star guys that are hitting 230 with 30 home runs? Is 30 home runs impressive for 600 at bats when that's all you're trying to do with big league baseballs? Because I don't know who knows this, but big league balls are way different than high school
they're
baseballs.
like golf balls, bro.
Yeah, they go way further
They're
than
like
high
golf
school
balls, bro.
baseballs. So it's is it impressive? Like I don't know. I don't know that answer, but I mean, I'm not the one making decisions.
100%. You bring up a good argument about it, man. Obviously, like different styles, different stuff going on in today's game. I got something. Richie Sims, he said, "What's up, bro? We're about to stop by. Open the back door. I guess somebody's at your house. I'm not 100
I
percent
don't
sure
know
if
who Richie Sims is, so
okay. What's up, bro? We're about to stop by. Open the door. I don't know what that's about. Appreciate you stopping by, though. Let's see. Paul Basile, baseball. It was sick. He's talking about the bunt. I love that. Appreciate you guys. Brick Wall in the chat says Siri ran around the bases like he was 12 for 12 on the day
yeah.
while he's slashing a 205 average. See, that's tough. That's tough. I don't like those antics, man. It's unfortunate. I don't like that stuff. I don't like it, man. I do not like
Yeah.
it. So what is the difference between a single and a stolen base and a double? Right. So it comes down to being able to swipe a bag in a situation. Obviously, OPS it doesn't affect you positively with a single and then a stolen base, or advancing on the throw. Being aggressive and being able to do things on the bases, like we talked about today, is a lost art, bro. It's a lost art. I don't understand it. I don't get it.
And Ian, and just to harp on that, I don't think pitchers care. It's
Yeah, well,
for
the
guys.
rules nowadays, like it's you can only pick over so many times, right? You have X amount of time to go home. It's almost like they don't enforce the stolen base rule. They don't enforce holding guys on
And I don't know about you, but like when I was running, like when I was on first base, it was like slide step almost every time.
and pick over, pick
I
over,
don't
pick
see.
over.
I mean, I remember watching Acuna steal bases last year, and Acuna, another unbelievable player. But guys are like a 1-4 to the plate.
You
Dude,
get that
what
standing up.
standing up at a
Yeah,
1-4? Like most when I was on first base, it was like slide step. Nobody
You
was
got to earn
lifting.
it.
And if you did it, it was like quick. So I don't know what I don't know why. Like I don't know. I would love to hit with a runner on second base. How many times did you walk or hit a single and stole second on the next pitch? That is hitting a double. That
Yes.
literally is hitting a double.
Yep.
So how come your OPS doesn't go up if I'm stealing second base in like on first pitch? Because I'm
It,
on second base before he even does anything.
and that's value, bro. Especially in games that matter, especially when it's time to win, man. So it's like, are stolen bases and aggressiveness on the base paths, like base path awareness and physical ability on the base paths, is that even a thing anymore? I don't even think that's a thing anymore, bro.
I don't. I honestly I do I don't think so. I agree with you there. And it's because it doesn't go towards your batting. It doesn't go towards your I mean, let's be real. There's a lot of experts in baseball with no expertise, right?
Amen.
Like guys that never played, guys that don't like they just know how to read numbers, they know the biomechanics of baseball and for whatever reason baseball GMs or owners have gone away from guys with experience rather than like they would rather have a guy that can tell you, hey, this is what the batting order should be, rather than having a guy like, I'm just throwing it out there. Like I played for Doug Minkiewicz. Doug Minkiewicz is not coaching anymore, and he is by far the best coach I've ever had in my entire life.
Yeah.
He helped all those Minnesota Twins get to the big leagues, the Byron Buxtons, all those guys. They were on the same team, the Miguel Sano's, Byron Buxton, Max Kepler,
He's the
like
third
all
base coach now, right? Is he
Doug,
is he the, is no,
Doug,
where's
out
he
of
at now?
baseball.
He's
He's
out?
out of yeah, he's out of baseball.
No way. I thought he was
Yes.
up top now. Jeez, dude.
No, yeah, and he's probably and he want. I mean, I don't know what he wants to do now, but when he was coaching, he loved it. I mean, he was the reason why I made the big leagues. Him alone, because he was the one, because he had experience, and I bought into exactly what he told me to do, and I did it, and it worked
Yeah,
because he's done it before, right? Like
totally.
I love somebody that can help me make an adjustment. I don't need you to tell me how good I am. I need you to tell me what I need to work on, like, and how to work on it.
It's important.
Like he was one of those guys. He didn't care, and
Yeah.
and that's probably why he's out of baseball, because he didn't care. Like he would tell people how it is.
Yeah.
You
That
need
makes sense.
that. You need that.
Absolutely. You don't have to necessarily feed into the cookie cutter type that everybody needs to bang. When we're talking about the MLB draft that just happened, like the first 8 picks were college guys.
Yeah.
In this year's first round, it was cool to see. Bazana was that first pick out of, I believe, Oregon State. And yeah,
Yeah.
he can hit 30 home runs. I get it. But he is an all around, like all encompassing
Yes.
player. That dude can run. We got, Seaver King with the 10th pick. I think he hit 300 with a couple home runs. He can play multiple positions. He can move to
Yep.
an outfield spot. Like if you're taking, Travis Bazana with the first pick and you're paying him 10.5 million bucks, you're expecting to have some type of flexibility out of him and be able to afford a major league roster, some type of flexibility. Are you going to draft with the first pick for 10.5 million bones as second baseman? I don't know. But that guy can run. He can play center field. He can get on base, right? He walks more than he strikes out. He can steal a bag. He can control the bat. Like I thought it was pretty cool seeing, um, you know, having a mature approach, being able to do multiple things on the diamond, be rewarded in today's
Yeah.
first round of the draft, right? Hopefully, we start seeing maybe a little bit more of an emphasis and a push on rewarding that type of, being a Swiss Army knife, being able to do multiple things. You know what I mean?
And I think we will. I mean, look at the draft last year as well. They had the kid from LSU, Dylan
Cruz. Yeah.
Crew. I
Yep.
mean, another guy. He can do a little bit of everything, and he's going to be a good big league player. I mean, look at Bobby Witt. Bobby Witt's killing it in the big leagues right now. To me, I think you need more. Obviously, listen, he's hitting 341, right? Like he's an unbelievable baseball player. You speak to Nick Dinny about Bobby Witt. He says he's the greatest player he's ever seen. Like you need more guys like that because he
Yeah.
can do it all. I think that's going to be the next generation of players is guys that can do it all,
I love it.
right?
Not just a
Guys
one
that
trick pony.
can run and the guys that can bang.
I love that,
Because
bro.
like to me, and not to pick on anybody, but everyone's always talking about how hard John Carlos Stanton hits a home run, right? Oh, this bat was it was 118, 121. If it goes over the fence, an inch over the fence, it's a home run, guys. Like who cares? Like I get it. It's good for media. It's good. Oh, see how far he hit that ball. You don't get extra runs because of how far you hit the baseball. I
Amen.
think we need more good baseball players rather than I sometimes like I even say like, dude, this is a slow pitch softball team. And I don't know how you have no speed. I don't know how you don't have guys that can score on a single from second base. That should be like guaranteed almost.
For sure.
Like that's got to be. That's how you take advantage. It's not just about OPS. It's about, can you score on a single from second base more
Love it.
times than not?
Being an
Because
all encompassing player.
it's tough to get 2 hits with a runner on second base. It's really tough. That's really hard.
Agreed,
So
brother.
there's
Agreed.
there's got to be ways to score rather than doubles and triples and home runs. So that's the hardest thing to do. It's like, imagine always going deep in football, right? Like
Throwing Hail Marys.
tough. Yeah, it's a tough way to live.
100%,
Like,
bro.
I
100%.
don't. I think the games needs to be more dimensions. It's so sometimes we get one dimensional with power, power, power. But you see, let's say the Minnesota Twins make the playoffs. They're playing baseball in October. Weather's freezing. It's cold. Ball's not flying as far. You need to be able to do the little things.
Absolutely, brother. You played in a playoff game, right? You got
Yeah,
to start in a playoff game. I remember watching you on TBS, bro. Right?
yeah.
Like that's when the small ball happens. That's when that needs to come out. When it's about winning, you revert back to the small ball, right? Pushing one run across at a time. You don't have to hit a grand slam in your first debut with nobody on, right? You know what I mean? That's the stuff that's important, dude. I absolutely love it. Again, appreciate everybody joining. If you guys have any questions or any comments, man, throw it in the chat. Before we move on, again, Zach, I'm extremely appreciative of your time. I'd love to get a shout out to the sponsor of today's stream, the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, the Cleveland Student Visionaries of the Year Philanthropic Leadership Development Program, where student athletes are on a journey for professional growth, fostering professional skills such as entrepreneurship, marketing, and project management, all working to raise as much money as possible for the fight against blood cancer. It's a 7-week challenge to raise funds. Last year, this past year, man, they raised over $1 million, man, for a good cause. 37 teams from local high schools in Northeast Ohio, raising over $1 million to help find a cure for blood cancer. Up top in the banner, maybe I'll put a link in the description. Check them out, man. It's a good cause. So, we got Bronx Gambino. What's up, Zach? What's up, Coach Zach?
What
Appreciate you guys
up?
being
Another
here,
guy.
man. So,
He's good. Big boy.
I love that, man. I love that. You got a nice little support group, man, with the players that are coming in here. That's awesome. Obviously, you have a pretty instrumental impact on their development and how they go about their business. That's fantastic. So let's talk about like today's game. Obviously, Luis Ariz. That guy bangs. He can put the ball the other way. If you throw a 98-mile-an-hour fastball up and in, he might be able to hit it in the 6 hole, right? That's just how it goes. Like in today's draft, what do we got there? If that guy's not able to hit 20 home runs, is he necessarily rewarded in the top 3 round picks? Obviously, he's got a great eye. He can play potentially multiple positions at a high level. Is that what do we got there?
Yeah, and that's a tough answer. I mean, like my dad always said, all you need is one guy to like you, right? Like
Yeah,
if one coach likes you, that's all that matters. The other 29 could think you suck, but if one guy likes you, that's all that matters.
absolutely,
So
brother.
that's big time right there. But it's I don't think he goes probably in the top 3 rounds nowadays because he is a singles hitter. But he doesn't really run that well, right?
No, he
Like,
doesn't
like
steal.
he doesn't. He
Mm-mm.
doesn't really run that well. But man, can that guy move a lineup? Can he pass the baton to the next guy? And I
Absolutely.
think that's insane value. I think we're going to look back on Luis Arias' career and be like, man, he was a really good baseball player.
Yeah.
I don't think he gets the loving he deserves, especially in the last couple of years. Like, you haven't really heard about him. He's hitting 310 right now, and that's like almost like a down year for him.
I do for sure. He's just an all-star too, right? Like a
Yeah,
career batting average in the regular season of like 320 plus.
yeah,
And
it's
I really
insane.
don't hear much about him.
Yeah, you really don't, because again, it's not as sexy as hitting a home run.
Yep.
Like they're showing highlights of home. Like you watch ESPN, it's all home runs or nice plays in the field. That's
Yep.
pretty much it. So
$100%.
he's got to be he's got to be one of those guys to get in the highlight reel to hit for hit more extra base hits, and it's not sexy to pass the baton because it's just not the way it is right now. But can you imagine a lineup with You put in Luis Arias, and then you have Juan Soto and Aaron Judge. So now
That
you have
team's
guys
that
hitting
team's
over
nasty.
300. You know
That's
what I'm
insane.
saying?
That'd be insane.
That's and you know what? You know where Luis Arias' game plays in the playoffs because he's not
Yeah,
trying to do too much. He's putting the ball in play. He's putting pressure on the defense. That's what wins baseball games, especially in the playoffs. Pitching
absolutely.
defense and timely hitting.
Absolutely, bro. So like maybe the last thing that we got here, man, I'm talking about the intangibles that can get a player seen, right? So this is kind of what I'm preaching here with the Nine Hole podcast when I'm working, with players behind the scenes. I'm trying to help them maximize, trying to help them in their baseball development process. Dude, I talk about preparation. I talk about the importance of having a strong mindset, talking about leadership and knowing your role, right? So these are all things that I needed to do in order to get from little league on my journey to the big leagues, right? I'm sure those are things that you needed to do as well, right? We needed to be prepared. I needed to do the eye wash stuff, keeping a notebook, keeping a tab on what pitchers were throwing me in what situations. Like I needed to do that stuff in order to separate from my competition. I needed to be mentally strong, mentally locked in. Before we went live, we were talking about it like, dude, if your wife right now wasn't necessarily living with you, so after the games you would go back home and you would be just kind of like bathing in what the day brought at the plate, right? That's all you can think about. Being
Yeah.
able to stay mentally strong and locked in, being a leader, playing the game the right way, like being a good clubhouse guy, knowing your role, the small ball is important, maximizing it. Is that stuff still like prevalent in today's game?
Uh, I'm gonna say no. Because I feel like the power has just been like, you know, I'm sure they said the same thing to you. We want you to hit for more power, right? Like, I mean,
Oh yeah,
like, so the approach kind of goes out the window, and it's more cheating, right? I think it was Dante Bichette Jr. that had this unbelievable video talking about hitting, about like the reason, like how good hitters need to hit the ball deeper, but like everybody right now chasing the ball more out in front. So if you have to hit the ball more out in front, you gotta guess where it's going to be. And guys are throwing harder than ever right now. So if I don't, I didn't say they had better stuff. I know people are going to be like, oh, but guys do throw harder nowadays. More guys throw harder nowadays. So if you have to hit the ball more out in front, you have to cheat.
yeah.
So
Mm.
guys are cheating more. So and that's where extra base hits are. So guys are willing to give up the strikeout to hit for more power.
All or
So
nothing.
the approach kind of goes out the window in that sense. I've seen games go extra innings where you don't score in extra innings. You have a runner on second base, nobody out. You know what I'm saying? Like that's got to be guaranteed getting that run in at least.
100%,
Like
bro.
that's got to be guaranteed. You play at the highest level, but sometimes when the approach goes out the window and you're just trying to hit extra base hits, like where is that? Nobody's willing to.
Absolutely.
How when we were in college, you ground out to the second baseman but score the run. Like it's a great at bat.
Yeah, it's quality.
Yeah, but is that a quality at bat nowadays?
You get penalized for that, brother. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
So
that goes against you and your
yeah,
average and kind of what you're willing to do for the season, man. It's crazy how the game is evolving, dude. I thought it was important to jump on here and talk about it a little bit.
yeah, and
Um,
I actually have something. It's a
yeah,
good story because it's really prevalent to the high school and below stage. So I worked with this coach for a high school right around the block from me, and they went 21-7 this year. They had a really really good record, and they had some big boys. Some guys bop. Some guys went D1. Like some guys are going Division 1. And he told me, he's like, Zach, a lot of the stuff you talk about is great. He's like, how many home runs we hit this year? They went 21-7. So they played 28 games. There was one home run hit on that
no
team.
way,
One home run. They got guys that are 6'2", going Division 1, all that. Only one home run.
no way, dude.
So like, stop. You need to be a good line drive hitter. Like as you get older, I feel like you can start worrying about the power. But for right now, you have to be a good line drive hitter.
I love
That's what's
that.
going to help you get to the next level. Because even in high school ball, right? Like they were 21-7, so they are a good team. They hit one home run on the year.
That's
I talk
incredible.
about talk about being a Northeast grinder because you're playing. Think about it when you're playing high school baseball, March, April, May.
Yeah,
You know,
dude.
it's
Cold,
cold. You want to launch in the cage and everything looks good in the cage. Dude, good luck.
hundred
Good luck.
percent. I remember, dude. I remember dudes like Nelson Cruz. I'd be able to spend some time with him over the Seattle
Yeah,
Mariners. Shared a locker room with him at my time up top with the Twins, and I remember hitting with him in the cage, and he used to tell me, "Dude, when you are in the cage hitting off the tee, it should not go above like head level, right up on the top of the cage. Do not hit the ball on the top of the cage, off the tee, in front toss, flips, all that stuff, because it translates like into bad habits during the game, dude." And so like I'm like, okay, so Nelson Cruz can hit, you know, 20 to 40 home runs, and this guy's 30, 40 years old. He's been doing it for 10 plus years. Like, what's the secret? This guy is hitting backspun low line drives and like one hop ground balls off the back of the net in the cage, bro. It's insane to see, and him trying to tell me that it translates in a positive manner. I mean, my best year was the year that I was able to like stay disciplined and routine in that approach. It's
yeah,
crazy. Once you start trying to change your swing and try to change things to try to fit a mold, bro, baseball's hard enough. Hitting a
yeah.
90 mile an hour fastball, 95 mile an hour fastball is hard enough. When you're trying to launch the ball or put it in the air or do something that is unnatural to your ability or your swing, bro, you got problems.
Yeah, I mean, once you start thinking in baseball, you're out. You know,
Yep,
like you got to be. You know, you want to think situations. You want to have a plan, but like you start thinking about where your hands are and where you should be launching from and getting into your rear back hip. I mean, you're
you're
struggling.
gone. You're
You're gone.
gone.
You're gone.
100%, man. So this, dude, this was fantastic. Zach, I'm grateful for your time, bro. Dude, that's all I had here. Uh, dude, would love to have you back on again soon, dude. Talk about,
Yeah.
the state of today's game, talk about small ball, baseball development, all that stuff, man. So
Hey,
appreciate your time.
before you go, I bought those lasers for like do like
I
a
saw
speed
that.
training.
I saw that.
So you
How
might
is it?
have to take a trip out to Sick.
Is it?
Sick.
Okay, well, my wife and I will be back in North New Jersey again, like shortly, within like the next few months, dude. So I'll shoot you a text, man. I'd love to like check that out.
Yeah, well, so like there's a track right by my house, or like football field. We'll set it up.
Let's go,
We'll get
baby.
our time. We'll see if we can still do it.
Dude, if I can run like a sub 6'6" still without blowing out both my hammies, man, that'd be fantastic. I don't know if that's possible, but I'm down to try for sure.
Yeah, definitely. We'll do it. We'll do it.
Awesome, man. Well, I appreciate you guys, everybody tuning in. Thank you guys for dropping comments on No Filter Brick Wall. Dude, you're awesome, brother. Thank you for being here. Everybody over here on Instagram Live, it's been awesome. Appreciate you, boys. Granite, man, thank you for your time again, man. Always pleasure to have you.
Thank you, brother.
You got it, man. Take care,
All right.
everybody. We'll catch
Care.
you guys back here again tomorrow. Take care,
See
guys.
ya.